The old man sat every evening on the same wooden bench by the sea. His wrinkled hands rested on a faded photograph, a young woman smiling beneath cherry blossoms. The sun dipped low over the horizon, painting the waves gold. To strangers, he was just another quiet soul watching sunsets alone. But to him, every sunset was a promise that someday, she might come back. Her name was Elena. 40 years ago, she had been the fire in his quiet world. They met in a small coastal town in Maine, where she had come for the summer. She was an artist, he was a fisherman. She painted the sea, and he lived it. Their worlds couldn't have been more different, yet when she smiled at him that first morning by the docks, he felt something shift inside, a warmth that stayed. They spent the whole summer together. He taught her how to sail, she taught him how to dream. But when September came, she had to return to New York to chase her art career. He asked her to stay, but she promised she'd come back, when her dream came true. "Just wait for me, Daniel," she whispered as the train pulled away. "No matter how long it takes, I'll find my way back to you." He waited. At first, there were letters. Long, beautiful letters filled with her sketches and words of love. But over time, they came less often, until one day, they stopped altogether. People told him to move on, to forget her. But Daniel never did. He believed in promises, especially hers. So he kept the bench clean, brought wildflowers every spring, and sat there each evening, looking out to sea, waiting. Years turned into decades. His hair turned white, his back bent with age, but his hope never wavered. Locals grew fond of him, Old Daniel, they called him, the man who waited for love. Some said he was foolish. Others thought it was beautiful. To him, it was simply faith. Then one rainy afternoon, everything changed. A young woman arrived in town, tired, soaked, carrying an old suitcase. She stopped at the diner across from the dock, and when she saw Daniel sitting there, she froze. She'd never met him before, yet something about him felt familiar. She walked over, hesitating, and softly said, "Sir, do you know someone named Elena?" Daniel looked up, startled. Elena. His voice trembled on the name. "Yes, I once did. Many years ago." The young woman smiled sadly. "She was my grandmother." Daniel's eyes filled with tears. His trembling hand clutched the photo on his lap. "Your grandmother." The girl nodded. "Before she passed away, she told me about a man by the sea. She said you waited for her, and she never stopped loving you. She wanted to come back, but life, it didn't let her. She told me, find him. Tell him I kept my promise in my heart." Daniel's chest tightened, a tear rolling down his weathered cheek. "She remembered me," he whispered. The girl sat beside him, placing her hand gently over his. "She did. Every single day. She painted hundreds of ocean sunsets, all inspired by this place, and by you." From her bag, she pulled out a small, wrapped canvas. Daniel unwrapped it with trembling fingers. It was a painting, their bench, the sea, and two figures sitting side by side beneath a sky ablaze with color. Daniel stared at it, speechless. "She painted this. She finished it before she died," the girl said softly. "She told me, one day, he'll see this, and he'll know I came back, even if only in spirit." Daniel looked out toward the ocean. The rain had stopped, and the sun was breaking through the clouds, casting a golden glow over the water. He smiled, the same gentle, boyish smile he once had all those years ago. "Tell her," he whispered, voice trembling with emotion. "Tell her I never stopped waiting." The girl squeezed his hand. "She knows." For the first time in decades, Daniel felt peace. He looked at the painting again, at the two figures sitting together, and something deep within him finally exhaled. The waiting had never been in vain. Because love, he realized, wasn't about endings. It was about faith that never dies. That evening, when the sun set, Daniel didn't sit alone. The young woman stayed beside him, talking, laughing softly, as if continuing a story left unfinished. She began visiting him every week, bringing more of Elena's paintings. They became family, connected not by blood, but by love passed down through generations. And when Daniel passed away a few years later, he was buried facing the sea, with the painting laid gently upon his chest. The townspeople built a plaque near his favorite bench that read, "Greater than." He waited years for her return, and found her in every sunset. Now, Every evening, that young woman, Alina's granddaughter, comes to sit on that same bench. Sometimes she paints. Sometimes she simply watches the waves. And whenever the sky turns golden, she feels it too, that love never truly leaves. Because some promises are so strong, even time can't break them.